Hello and welcome to Wednesday's Granada Reports.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines in the northwest.
They did it, and it's all thanks to you. Granada Reports viewers helped the family of a man with cerebral palsy raise enough money to buy a device which will finally give him a voice.
Dangerous weapons and a powerful message from police, hoping it will encourage young people to make better choices.
We're courtside as international netball returns to the northwest. We'll be building up to a big game between England and New Zealand and their winner-takes-all series decider.
Mike Joyce, the drummer in The Smiths, tells us about the band's iconic rise to stardom.
And higher parts of the region woke up to a dusting of snow today. But is there any more on the cards? I'll have all the details in the forecast later.
So please stay with us for all of that. First, though, to the tremendous generosity that you, our viewers, have shown to Ryan Edwards to help the Liverpool fan with cerebral palsy on the road to communicating like never before.
Yeah, Ryan is non-verbal and his family rely on visual cues to understand what he needs. But that all changed when he took part in a trial for a communication device that allowed him to control a computer with his eyes and have it speak aloud for him.
Here's a brief recap of his story, which we shared with you last night.
He's got such an aura about him that everyone deserves to see. And sorry. Oh dear. Oh, it's hard to talk about him.
Ryan was given a trial of a Smartbox eye gaze device, which allows users to control a computer with their eyes.
What is it you want to do?
Watch something.
Oh, you want to watch something? Okay.
TV.
On the TV. In that time, it was fantastic. He was able to tell us that he loves us. He was able to tell us what he wants to do, even down to what he wants to pick on the TV. We woke up one day and we just thought, you know what, we're going to get it and we're going to fight for it.
Yeah, and they certainly have. Mel Barham's report spurred viewers into action, and before the end of the programme, hundreds of people had donated money, far exceeding their £12,000 target.
Well, Ryan and his sister Sam joined us in the studio a short time ago, and we started by asking them how they currently communicate.
So Ryan's communication is very yes and no, closed questions kind of situation. So do you want to do a little show and tell? I'll just say yes. Yes. So he'll even use his eyes. If he's really tired, he'll look down. But if he's a lot more alert, he will do a full nod. And how do you say no? No.
Yeah. So Ryan, you must be absolutely made up to have hit your target.
Are you made up? Yes. Are you happy about it? I think he's just so shocked. And I know that through knowing Ryan so well. He's just kind of like, it's going to happen. Like, I can imagine it. If he could speak, he'd just be like, wow.
All
yes
a bit
or
of a
no.
whirlwind.
Yes.
Did you think he'd raise the money so fast?
Yes. I think he's
You knew.
determined.
He's got the charm, haven't you, Ryan?
He's got the eyes.
He's got the smile. And how did you feel when you were sat at home and you saw all the money come in?
We were just speechless. I was shaking. And Ryan was just ecstatic. And he was just looking at the TV with, like, the biggest eyes. I was just a mess. I was shaking and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, how many people want to help Ryan?
Yeah, you were getting some lovely messages through as well.
Yeah, we got emails as well from people I've never heard of, and I was just amazed how many came through, and I was trying to reply to them all and I just kept getting lost.
Sounds really special, and I know you not only got your target, you surpassed it. So what happens now? When will you be able to get this eye gaze box?
Of course, so we are in contact with Smartbox. Hopefully we can get a kind of number on what it is we can have. We can try different things. We can see what we can add on for Ryan's benefit.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Yeah. and hopefully we can make it perfect for him, so it can be bespoke in a way, which it should be for him because of his needs and his ability. I think. Are you listening?
And wouldn't it be great to get it sorted for Christmas as well? What would you say tonight to all those people watching out there who've helped?
I think thank you isn't enough, and I don't think there's any words that can express how thankful we are and how surprised we are that the community got together to give Ryan a voice. And I just can't thank people enough, and I really hope that they have something good happen for them. Definitely.
I mean, we could see how emotional you were talking about what it would mean for all of you to be able to communicate better. You know, what will it mean for you as a family to be able to hear what Ryan has to say?
Now we have this technology that will allow him to express how he feels about other people, about his own care, about what he likes, what he dislikes, where the pain is, how he's feeling that day. If he wants to be alone, being around people all the time, like for him to just turn around and be able to be like, I just want my own space.
Yeah.
Like what we take for granted every day, he's finally going to get, which is brilliant.
And is that something you agree with, Ryan? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you all want to say a big thank you. Ryan, you want to say thank you to everybody as well?
Do you want to say thank you to everyone? How do you say thank you? He puts his arms out for a hug. Do you want to give everyone a hug?
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for both coming in today. We're so pleased
Thank you.
that we have this outcome, and we wish you all the best.
Will you come back in and see us when you've got it, Ryan?
100%. He'll be ready to speak to you. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes, a very big thank you to all of you, and you can be sure we'll be back with Ryan when he does take delivery of that device. OK, some other stories making the news today, and Merseyside's Chief Constable says he regrets the wrongful conviction of Peter Sullivan for the murder of a woman in Birkenhead. The 68-year-old spent almost 40 years in prison before new evidence proved his innocence. Mr. Sullivan told the BBC that he'll carry that burden until he gets an apology from Merseyside Police. The force said it regrets the miscarriage of justice, but said the evidence presented at trial was compelling and persuasive.
21,000 council homes are expected to be improved in Wigan thanks to a new law named after a boy who died after being exposed to mould. Awab Ishak was 2 years old when he died from a respiratory condition caused by mould at his home in Rochdale. Wigan councillors have now agreed to improve repair and maintenance of homes across the town's 120 council house estates to hit the new strict timeframes.
A survivor of the Southport attack last summer is urging the public to push for a national change to start using kitchen knives with round edges. Dance teacher Leanne Lucas is taking her Let's Be Blunt campaign to an anti-knife crime conference in London. She started it after the stabbings where 3 little girls were killed. Leanne, who herself was almost fatally injured, says exchanging pointed-tip knives for rounded ones will prevent more tragedies.
Well, next tonight, to the efforts by Merseyside Police to tackle knife and gun crime among young people. Operation Prospect is an education and early intervention programme aimed at preventing serious violence. It's fronted by officers from the force's Matrix firearms team. The secondary school sessions use real-life experiences to challenge misconceptions about criminality. Well, the police hope their powerful message will encourage young people to make better choices and use anonymous channels to report concerns, as Jennifer Buck reports.
Down your knees! Put your hands on your head! It's a real-life situation being reenacted for Year 10 students at Rainhill High School.
This is where you start clapping because we got the bad guy.
Applause for the performance, but this is a real situation being brought directly into schools from those who know. It's hoped that this is as close as these students will ever come to an armed offender or the firearms officers called in to arrest him.
This is an assault rifle.
These are frontline firearms officers. They've seen some of the worst gun and knife crime on the streets of Merseyside. They used real-life examples of young people who've lost their lives, and they're getting straight to the point.
Go. The average adult has about 5 litres of blood in the body. By the time you've got through to the ambulance operator and told them who you are, they're dying or they're already dead.
So far, around 20,000 children across Merseyside have been shocked and hopefully educated by this message over the last year.
A bit shocked, really, that all this is happening around us, and towards the end especially more emotional about all the families that have been dealing with this trauma for years and years.
Seeing the children on the screen was definitely really emotional. Knife crime and gun crime should be stopped, and how we can stop it, I think that's a very important thing, and about how the families are impacted and how people's consequences, people's actions do have consequences.
This programme has been developed by the police and their teaching partners, and as well as educating, wants to show that every person, no matter how young, has a voice to speak up.
I think we've got lots of people who do give us information, but there is a bit of peer pressure. And I think that's probably the better way of doing it, peer pressure rather than grass culture. But information does start to come through, particularly on these sessions. We have had some really successful outcomes on the back of the sessions with people coming forward, and also knives being recovered, which is a real positive.
It's now hoped after today's session that these are just the latest children to stand up and use their voice to keep themselves and other people safe. Jennifer Buck, ITV News in Rainhill.
A man accused of hatching a terrorist attack in Greater Manchester to kill as many Jewish people as possible told a jury today he was pretending to go along with the plot so he could sabotage it and take the evidence to the police.
Walid Sadawi from Wigan is said by prosecutors to have wanted to cause untold harm. The married father of 2, who's on trial at Preston Crown Court, denies preparing acts of terrorism between December 2023 and May last year.
Prosecutors say police were able to prevent the plans of Mr Sadawi and co-defendant Ammar Hussein from becoming a tragic reality as they unknowingly laid bare their scheme to an undercover operative. Anna Yosef has been at Preston Crown Court for us today. And Anna, Mr Sadawi's defence case continued for a second day today. What did he have to say?
Well, the defendant said he had never had any intention to carry out a terrorist attack or harm anyone. In fact, he said the reason why he was in this situation is because people had taken advantage of his kind nature and he just didn't know when to say no. The court had heard how in 2017 he'd met a Syrian man who he referred to as Person A, and he'd given him some money because he told him that he was struggling to bring up his young family. But that act of kindness led to what the defendant described as, quote, nearly a decade of abuse. Mr Sadawi said that Person A had gone on to reveal that he was from the Mujahideen and that he would report him to the police or even kill him if he didn't do what he asked. He claimed Person A had forced him to continue giving him money and post extremist material on social media. The defendant had moved to Wigan to try and get away from Person A, but he tracked him down and continued to threaten him. The defendant said, Person A had no mercy. I knew he could do anything to me. He could find me anywhere. Now, the courts previously heard how Mr Sadawi was arrested as part of a counter-terrorism operation in Bolton in May 2024. Officers found 2 assault rifles, a semi-automatic pistol and almost 200 rounds of ammunition in a car. Prosecutors claim that he'd unwittingly revealed plans of a terrorist attack to an undercover operative called Farouk.
Now, Anna, how did Sadawi explain why he was there?
Well, Katie, he told the court that he believed Farouk and person A were connected. He said that Farouk had organised the delivery of the firearms and that he was, quote, playing a role. He said he needed to convince Farouk that he was a terrorist so that he could get the firearms. He said that he then intended to sabotage the plot and that he would cut up the weapons and get everybody together in a house, at which point he would call the police so they could be apprehended. He said he believed that that was his only chance of being free of them. Mr Sadawi's co-defendant, Amar Hussein, who's 52, also denies preparing acts of terrorism. Mr Sadawi's youngest brother, Bilal Sadawi, who's on bail, is accused of knowing about their plot to kill and doing nothing to stop or report it. He denies all the charges, and the trial of the three men continues here at Preston Crown Court.
OK, thank you, Anna.
Well, let's move on now, and still to come on tonight's programme.
Celebrating 100 legends of Liverpool's music at the place where it all began.
And while other parts of the UK bear the brunt of the heavy snow tomorrow, here in the northwest we could see a few isolated wintry showers. I'll have more detail in the forecast in a few minutes.
Well, next to the drummer from Manchester who found himself in one of the most well-loved and influential British bands of all time, and when he was just 19 years old. We're talking, of course, about Mike Joyce from The Smiths.
And no other band before or since has sounded quite like The Smiths. Let's remind ourselves of one of their most...
Well, Mike's new book, The Drums, tells his story from humble beginnings in the suburbs of South Manchester to touring the USA on a wave of adulation and also critical acclaim.
Mike met with our own charming man, Tim Scott, for a chat about his book and the glory days of the early 80s.
Your book, why now?
I've been asked so many times, what was it like being in The Smiths? And I think when I answer, it was great, I don't think that does it justice, really. No. I mean, we could sit down for hours and hours and hours, and I don't think I'd be able to convey just how incredibly interesting and beautiful it was. So I thought, right, commit to print, and let's put a book out, and then I can put all those stories in there in the studio, live situations, all those kind of great things that happened to me during that period. And yeah, 270, 280 pages. There's a lot in there that people probably won't know about me and my experiences within the band.
Your first rehearsal with The Smiths, the first time you met the band, Mike, tell us what that was like. It
was brilliant because I was kind of watching Johnny Marr for the first time, which is always going to be a great experience for anybody. It sounded very different from the bands that I'd been in before, kind of, you know, from a punk background, like you mentioned. And Morrissey was being pretty strange, you know, as a lead singer. Yeah. Because to me, lead singers invariably are quite outgoing, gregarious.
From that first meeting that you were onto something.
I just thought, this is too good an opportunity, really, to miss. And for a four-piece band, a traditional lineup based on guitar vocals, that takes some doing to be that unusual and unique.
Absolutely. In the book, you talk about yourself, Andy and Johnny, the quite tight-knit little unit, used to enjoy having a bit of a laugh together and whatnot, and Morrissey was always separate from that. And that never really changed with Morrissey throughout the whole time you were in the band. He was always, what, aloof from you, was he?
Initially, yeah. He didn't. I felt like he didn't want me in his circle of friends, and he didn't want me in his life, really. And I didn't really want him in mine, you know, because right. We just had a completely different set of friends. But that changed over the years. And then when you start to get that kind of gang mentality of nobody else can really kind of understand what we're doing here and what we're going through, you do kind of close ranks. I mean, you know, the first album came out and stuff. Then things changed.
You did feel like a unit after that.
Oh,
then.
Very much so.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Can you describe, for people watching this who maybe don't understand what it was like in those days, the 100% adulation that the band got from fans at that time?
We played in Salford at a place called Maxwell Hall. And that was incredible. That was one of the most outstanding gigs I've ever played. A mate of mine, Gary Rostock, who used to be in a band called Easterhouse, he was at that gig, and he said to me afterwards, in the foyer, he said, people were just in tears and hugging each other, people that had never met each other before. And he said, you don't see that at gigs, really. He said, I've never seen anything like it.
For that kind of thing to happen to somebody so young must have been so strange.
strange but beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, because we were immensely proud of what we created as a band, and it meant so much to us, and it was so precious that when that's reciprocated, bingo.
Are there any regrets? Is there ever a nagging voice at the back of your head, oh, we could have done another album, I wish we carried on?
Yes, at the time, but now I'm thinking, well, every band has a beginning, a middle and an end. I mean, what a way to go out with Strange Ways. I mean, it's my favourite album, it's Johnny's favourite album, it's Morris's, and it was Andy's, so...
Finish on a high.
Absolutely.
Mike, as someone who grew up through those years in the 80s, and I remember what an impact the Smiths made, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. That was great, and the book's great as well. Thank you so much.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, and tomorrow in Manchester there'll be a tribute to Mike's former bandmate Andy Rourke, where a mural of him is being illuminated in purple to mark Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Day.
The bass player, who was 59, died in 2023 after being diagnosed with the disease. On to sport now, and there's a big night of international netball, no less, in Manchester. It's taking place this evening as England take on New Zealand.
Yeah, there's plenty at stake in this one as well. It's a winner-takes-all decider with the three-match test series level at 1-1.
Busy night in the city as thousands of Northern netball fans head to the AO Arena. Our sports correspondent David Chisnell is there for us tonight.
Yes, welcome here courtside at the AO Arena as world-class netball returns to the Northwest. Huge game tonight, England against New Zealand. The winner of this will go on to win their three-match test series. A crowd of around 5,000 are expected here tonight. Delighted to say that we're joined now by the England head coach, Jess Thirlby. Jess, it's been such a great series so far. 2 games down in London, you're up here in Manchester now. What can Northern netball fans expect tonight?
It feels quite fitting to come to a home of netball. I know there's a hotbed of talent up here. You guys are always backing us, big champions of the sport and of the team. We've got some Manchester players in the group, so hopefully that will be what gets us over the line tonight and take the series win.
It's been so close, hasn't it? 3 points in both games so far. Is that what you're expecting, and another close game?
Yeah, look, our rivalry with New Zealand has strengthened over the last 5 years, and both teams are really hungry to get the upper hand. We've been to New Zealand and beaten them on their home soil, so I know there'll be a little bit of revenge wanted on their part, but the team are in a really good place. We're fitting well, psychologically really ready, and we need to be in as many finals as we can, and that's how we're treating tonight.
As I said, a crowd around 5,000 expected here tonight. What do you get from your Northern netball fans? What kind of crowd are they?
Hey, look, we get great support, we get lots of opinion, which is brilliant. I think the more talk about our sport, the better, but we get huge support, not least because we do have some Manchester born and bred, Amy Carter, Lois Pearson, with the list goes on, and so we know that it produces brilliant talent, and I think you kind of feel that when you come here. It feels like a home.
And am I right thinking you're a big Manchester United fan as well, and a big fan of, in particular, Sir Alex Ferguson, who you've met? What was that like, and did you pick up any tips from him?
Oh, look, I absolutely admire him. I think what he did in those generational times in '92, obviously that special group, and bringing on young talent and enabling them to go on to do some things that have never been done before with the club, but it's his longevity, the way in which he knows how to handle people to get the best out of them on court. Some of that a bit controversial maybe, but I was very lucky to meet him, but I'd love to have a whole day just chewing his ear and working out how he got the best out of that group. And if you're watching, you're welcome anytime, Alex.
Jess, thanks so much. Good luck this evening. Hopefully you won't need the hairdryer treatment or anything like that tonight for your team. Well, there we go. England against New Zealand tonight as the ABBA song goes. The winner takes all. Hopefully it's England who will be on song tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck to England. And we're going to stick with the musical theme because a new mural celebrating 100 figures who have shaped Liverpool's musical heritage has been unveiled in the city.
Yeah, there are so many of them, aren't there? From the Beatles to Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark and Frankie Goes to Hollywood. The mural by artist Joe Venning aims to celebrate those who have brought so much joy to so many music fans.
Yeah, well, where else could it be but Matthew Street, from where Victoria Grimes sent us this report a short time ago.
Well, it's an incredible new addition to what is arguably the most famous street for music in the world, right here in Liverpool city centre on Matthew Street. 100 of the most famous faces in the city's musical history, spanning across generations and genres as well. And Kev McManus, you are going to tell us all about it. What's all this about, Kev?
Well, it come about because the site was owned by SP Energy. They were doing it up, and it, as you said, the most famous music street in the whole world, seemed a perfect opportunity to celebrate Liverpool's glorious music past, present and future. So an artist came in to do this, and it's supported through the Beatles Story and the Beatles Legacy Group and a number of other partners.
So this is Joyce isn't it, who did that incredible mural for Eurovision as well, so he's done this one now as well.
Yeah, so it's 100 Liverpool music figures from the last 50-60 years, significant figures, everyone from Lisa Rose, first Liverpool #1, right through to current artists, like Camel Fat, Red Drum Club, all featured here, and all celebrating the greatness of Liverpool music. We are a music city, and this is a perfect picture of it.
Perfect picture of it indeed. Kevin, thank you very much indeed. It looks fab. Here's Carl from the farm. We can't find you on here, but we found Peter Hooton, haven't we?
Yeah, well, the bass player was sacked. Again.
It looks amazing, doesn't it? And to see all the different generations, how does that feel? Because you've got right through from Paul McCartney to, up and coming Camel Fat, as Kev was saying.
Yeah, no, it's important. I think art has always historically been good at recording popular culture and creating a time capsule. And this is a great example of popular culture becoming a time capsule through art.
Oh, that's very profound, isn't it? Very profound for a Wednesday night. A time capsule, I love it.
Well, it's can I go back to the pub?
You can go back to the pub, it's freezing, isn't it? Go on, off you go. Thank you very much, Carl. And here we go, Fran from Red Run Club, one of our favourites on Granada Reports. Fran, look at you here. Let's just point this out. This is you here. John Lennon's right at the back, but Fran from Red Run Club is right at the front.
Yeah, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
How do you feel to be featured on this?
Oh, it's an honour, yeah. It's an honour to be amongst so many sort of Liverpool music legends. So many of people on here have inspired me and our music. So it's a perfect tribute to music of Liverpool in the perfect spot, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and it's a bit of a party, I think, now tonight, isn't it? Everyone's going to go for a drink afterwards and celebrate its arrival.
Well, we're on Matthew Street, so...
Well, why not?
Why not?
What else are you going to do? I'll tell you what, this is the combination we never knew we needed. Look, just up here, you've got Elvis Costello next to Sonia. Together at last. That's quite cool, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool.
That's you.
Oh, that's
what more could you want?
That's perfect, absolutely perfect. Poor Carl, we'll have to carry on looking for him.
Right, it's time now for a look at the weather. I can tell you it is very cold out there tonight.
Mum, wet wipes, toilet or bin?
Bin. Why?
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello again, good evening. A couple of very cold nights to come here in the northwest, well below freezing, hard frosts ahead, but generally dry weather for our corner of the UK. In fact, other areas bearing the brunt of some very heavy snowfall over the next 24 hours. But here, generally dry with some sunshine, but feeling bitterly cold until the weekend. Low pressure out to the east will be driving snow showers onto northeast coast through the day tomorrow. A few little flutters of snow could creep across the Pennines, perhaps through the day, and perhaps by tomorrow evening the Lakeland Fells will see some snowfall, but for our part of the world we get away with a relatively dry day. Plenty of sunshine on offer, but bitterly cold. Now this evening a widespread frost, still that driving northerly wind. Cater for a few icy stretches through tonight and again tomorrow where there's any moisture on the roads. There was a dusting of snow last night, of course, up on the tops of the hills, and that could prove just a little icy tonight. -3, -4 in rural spots, so a very cold night to come with a frosty start to the day tomorrow. The sun will be up tomorrow at 7:46. It sets at 6 minutes past 4 tomorrow afternoon. For the northwest of England and the Isle of Man, a frosty start to the day tomorrow. Lots of sunshine around. Winds will ease down a touch through the day, and it should stay dry for most of us. As I mentioned before, there's the risk of perhaps a few flutters of snow creeping into the far east of our region on the tops of the hills by the end of the day. But for most of us, fine, but factor in that wind. 4 or 5 Celsius will feel quite a few degrees. Chillier than that, another very hard frost tomorrow night. A beautiful crisp day on Friday. More unsettled at the weekend, but temperatures will lift.
Cleaned up well.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thank you, Joe. Don't know about you, I was shivering just watching that.
I know, it is very cold in here. It's time to crank your electric blanket up to full heat.
Yeah, we need a heater in the studio down here, I think. That's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the programme.
Yeah. We're back after the late news. Hope you can join us. Until then, from all of us here, very good night. Bye-bye.